It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Thanks for tuning in, Sean Widmer Podcast. I appreciate you being here today. Recording this on a Tuesday night, the 22nd of July, 2025. Looked at my watch just to make sure that's right, and it is. It is. So there we go. Today on the podcast, I've got to talk about something I was bummed out about in the pop culture world because I wish that the current generation could experience it, but I don't think they're going to, and that's a fair reason why they're not. Just a little bummed by it. A little bummed. We're allowed to be bummed about it. And I've got to give a shout out to something here in Lexington, Kentucky that has changed the game in my brain. Something I whined about on this very podcast, and it's been fixed. It's been fixed in Lexington, Kentucky. So we're going to get into that. Now, we're going to talk about something to kick off the podcast right now that right at this moment has me sick to my stomach sad. Sick to my stomach sad. I am going to get out in front of this right now and say, I understand this is embarrassing. It shouldn't affect me like it does. It shouldn't affect my mood like it has tonight. Because it happened before game night, Tuesday night game night, down there at the Rusty Scabbard. And it happened right as I was walking in to game night. And I couldn't get my head into game mode for the first hour of the evening. It took me at least an hour, and I was just like out of it, bummed, thinking so much about years of my life. What happened? Well, let's get to it. I've talked about this before. My prized possession, one of my all-time favorite things that I own, okay? I have some things that cost more money than others. I have some things that cost nothing. I have some things that cost, enough that I'm not going to replace them if something happens. I have had a Nalgene bottle. If you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, this is going to be for you. I have a Nalgene bottle that I've had since 2004. I bought this Nalgene bottle that I'm holding right now. I bought it with my very first paycheck in radio in 2004. And the reason I bought it, I had wanted one. My roommate, Preston, shout out P-Dog. I don't think Preston listens to the podcast anymore. I think he had for a little while. But if you do, Preston, thank you. And the reason I have this Nalgene bottle, and I've had it since 2004, is because of you. He had an Nalgene. I thought it was cool. Everything Preston did was cool. Everything he does is cool. And I wanted an Nalgene. I just never got one. And so I worked in radio for 1 week, and I realized, I'd worked a ton of other jobs because I worked through college, multiple jobs at the mall, different places. But I realized at the radio station, I was talking a lot every day. That didn't change. And you're probably saying, well, you talk a lot anyways. I do. But for a job, when you're in radio, you need liquid. You need water because you're talking a lot. Your throat gets dry. Maybe you choke for a second. You need that water instantly. And you can't just run off to the drinking fountain or whatever. You need it right then. So I was like, I got to get a water bottle. So I got my first paycheck in radio, went to REI in Spokane. 2004, September 2004, I bought an Nalgene. And since September of 2004, I have had the same Nalgene. It has gone through so much life with me. It's moved with me everywhere. It's moved upwards of 10 times. All right. Haven't lost it in any moves. It lived through my Jeep, which when I say that, I don't mean that it, I had my car, my baby. But when I say it lived through the Jeep, the top of a Nalgene, twist top, has a loop. If you've seen a Nalgene, the wider mouth ones, the twist top has a device that connects to the Nalgene bottle, and I would hang that loop from the bar going across my Jeep, and it would hang there because I thought it was so cool. And whatever, it was. But I would take the Nalgene out, put it on my seat, and inevitably, it happened multiple times. I would be driving with the doors off the Jeep and turn, and the Nalgene would fly out of the Jeep, and bam, bam. It did it on the freeway one time. And I such a daring lad and stupid, went around and I went way out of my way to come back and get the Nalgene off the side of the road. Didn't get run over, thank goodness. But it's been through all my Peaceful Valley basketball games. It's been through so many City League games. It's been camping a million times. Like I said, survived these falls out of the Jeep. It's been everywhere, and I love it. And tonight, I got out of my truck at the Rusty Scabbard, and my Nalgene slipped out of my hands. And it's fallen a million times, and it hit the ground, and all of a sudden, water was everywhere. And I was like, how is there water everywhere? And I looked down, and 21 years later, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, it busted. The top, it landed right on the corner top of the bottle, and it blew the top off. Plastic just shattered in half. And so I legitimately was sad. I'm not just joking where I'm like, I'm bummed out. This thing has been in my life for 21 years. It's been there for everything. And it's busted. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll glue it. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with it because I got options. I'm either going to glue it because it's the top, so I don't hold it there, so it's not like it needs to hold a lot of weight. The problem is it's got a hole in the top, a little chunk. You can see where it landed on the ground. A chunk shattered. So if I hold it up to the camera, you can kind of see it. There's a little hole in the top where it's connected. I can glue everything but that. And maybe I can just fill it with something. I'm going to talk to the guys at work tomorrow. But my other choice with this Nalgene, as I'm not going to let it die, is to maybe take a saw and cut a straight line across the top of it and turn it into a drinking cup. Sand it down, cut it, sand it down, and just use it as a drinking cup here. But it hit the ground. I saw the top I saw it in two pieces, and I about drove home. I'm glad I didn't because game night was super fun. But the end of an era. I will say this. I'm going to keep using it. My PS3, when the end of the era happened with my PlayStation 3, which was like my favorite video game system. It's when I got into competitive Madden and won a bunch of money one year playing Madden professionally. I mean, not professionally, competitively, trying to make the Madden bus. That PS3 went through so many houses, so many friends came over and played games on it. That PS3 was huge. When it died, I took it to an open field and buried it. Had a ceremony. We buried it. And now that empty field is a Target. So when they did construction, some guy probably scooped up a bunch of dirt and was like, what was that? And it was a PS3. And he thought, well, that's not supposed to be in the middle of an empty field. But it was. And it was mine. Okay, let's move on. Thank you, Nalgene, for everything you've meant to me. And I love you forever. I will love you forever. And we will get through this trying time. My body's breaking down in my old age. Maybe that's just part of life, right? My Nalgene's body is breaking down as well. Man, doggone it. Doggone it that this little piece broke off. Otherwise, I just glue it like crazy. Anyways, I'm going to figure this out. I got smart guys at work who are going to help me figure this out. We need to talk about pop culture, something that happened in pop culture this week that bummed me out. It bummed me out because I get it, and it's just the way things go. So anytime, pop culture, you people pass away in the world of entertainment, and it affects people who like got into shows and whatever, and it's a big moment when someone who you spent a lot of time either watching movies of or listening to musically or whatever it is. Is it fair that that's how it works? And then, Joe Schmo dies and you're like, no one cares. No, it's not. But that's how the reality is. And there was a celebrity death this week. That's really interesting to me how it is going because Theo Huxtable died this week. Tragically. I think he was 53, died and drowned off the coast of Costa Rica. Terrible story. And Theo Huxtable, from the Cosby Show. I'm going to make sure I got the age right here. Let's see if we can get the age right. I think it's 54. Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner dies at 54. So 54 years old. Theo Huxtable was awesome on the Cosby Show. And the Cosby Show is an absolutely spectacular television program. I don't think there's anyone who really disagrees with that. That TV show is amazing. And it was great in the 80s when it was out. It was great in reruns in the 90s, and it's still a great TV show. So, when people pass away from stuff, like Matthew Perry, when he died, Friends, which always is being watched, but it had a really big spike in viewership. People went back and rewatched a ton of Friends because Matthew Perry, and you're remembering somebody who's no longer around, and you go back to why you loved them and you watch it. It's weird right now because Theo Huxtable is someone that growing up I loved. I loved his character. He was cool. He liked hoops. Cosby Show was funny. I'm not going back to watch the show. And I think a lot of people are there. Not everyone. I talked to my guy, Kevin James. He's like, dude, I'm going to watch some of the Cosby Show. I love the Cosby Show. But Bill Cosby successfully ruined that show for, I would say, a majority of people who would go back and watch the Cosby Show now. A majority will not go back, rightfully so. Bill Cosby is the worst. He's a bad dude. Bad dude, did bad things. I don't want to reward him by watching his show. But it's so weird because normally at this time when someone who was inspirational in a way in your youth and someone who enjoyed their job as an entertainer, when they pass away, you honor them by watching the stuff they did. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that with Theo Huxtable, with Malcolm Jamal Warner, because of the fact that stupid Bill Cosby decided to be the worst dude. And I don't want to give views. I don't know how it works. I don't know if he gets money. And if I go watch the Cosby Show, I just have this feeling in my brain that he's going to get residuals off this. He's going to get paid off of my views. And I'm not going to do that. I don't want that. I don't know if that's how that works, but I don't want anything to do with getting him money. So it's such a weird thing because I want to go back. I want to watch Cosby Show. I want to enjoy Malcolm Jamal Warner as a in remembrance moment of him and the comedy that he provided. And again, the coolness that he provided, I thought, and the great, story, the Huxtable family story was just, they were a great family with drama. They were great, but I'll never watch that show again. I'm not going to show it to my kids. And, is that and maybe that's a little over the top and you're like, Sean, get over it. You've gone too far. What are you doing? Yeah, maybe. But that's just kind of my stance on it. I don't love what Bill Cosby did. There's plenty of other shows, Home Improvement, Full House, so many other shows. And I get it. You can find bad things that people did on every show and famous people do bad things. But I'd rather watch those shows than the Cosby Show if we're going to go down that road. So there you go. It was just weird. Theo Huxtable, 54 years old, tragic death. Really loved him on the Cosby Show.
Kelly's, what are you into?
Okay. I complained about this months ago here in Lexington, something that was bothering me. And I was like, I really wish I missed this in Spokane. I wish it was here. There are Krogers all over Lexington. I feel like Kroger is everywhere in Lexington. You go to Kroger, you go to Walmart, and one of the things that's missing is a good deli inside of the grocery stores here in Lexington. I talked about this a couple months ago. I was like, man, I miss them. I miss the Rose Hours and Browns edition in Spokane, going down there and getting Longhorn sausage or ribs, getting, pizza or, some jalapeno poppers or some taquitos or whatever. Just a great hot bar they had there at a Rose Hours in Spokane. Safeway had some good stuff. Safeway had the Chinese food that was killer in theirs. I loved it. You go to Kroger here in Kentucky and it's chicken. You just get chicken. And I was like, this is a bummer. I missed that part of the grocery store experience. Hallelujah, Publix. Publix has made its way to Lexington, Kentucky. I had heard about the Pub Sub, heard people raving about the Pub Sub. And today, my guy Tyler from work, he and I were driving back from working, setting up some stuff for an event we had at Keeneland here in Lexington tonight. And we passed by Publix and I said, let's get lunch there. So we went in and I walked in thinking all we're going to have options of is this Pub Sub that I've heard so much about. No. There's a freaking pizza stand. There's a hot bar. There is sushi. There's a different place for coffee. There's a popcorn stand. And then there is the Pub Sub area. And they've got all these sandwiches. And it wasn't just like you get a club sandwich or a turkey sandwich. It's like Subway. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's see what they're made of. Already impressed by the selection. Let's see what they're made of. So I got my thing. I got like a cheesesteak style thing. It was so good. Okay. And it was great. I didn't get the full because I wasn't starving, but Tyler ordered the peach. Can I look it up real quick? Publix peach sandwich. Let's see if I can get the name of it because it's this summer only. The peach heat chicken tender sub. He ordered the full, $12. It is 2 pounds. I didn't get that wrong. We watched him weigh it. 2 pounds of sandwich. They brought, the guy told Tyler, he goes, well, hang on, we need to re-up the chicken tenders that they put inside of the peach heat chicken tender sub. We got to re-up the chicken tenders. So he opens the oven, pulls out these chicken tenders, brings these chicken tenders over, and we're like, okay, he's going to chop these up, put them in like a little container behind the glass like they do at, any sandwich place you've gone to, and he's going to scoop some into your sandwich. No, every chicken tender that he brought over, which was tons, was for Tyler's sub, heaping over the top of this bread. Heaping. Tyler ate a half of a half. He was hungry. Maybe 2/3 of a half. And was stuffed and was like, dude, I can't even finish this bite or two of the first half of the sandwich. It's so big. And he was like, and it's really good. So, first of all, let's get the shout out to Publix out of the way. Thank you for bringing the deli to Lexington, letting the people here who have known Kroger only and just fried chicken, they didn't even have JoJo's here at the Kroger's. What are we doing? What are we doing? Bad, embarrassing. But thank you to Publix for bringing the hot bar. Thanks for bringing the deli. And thanks for bringing these freaking amazing sub sandwiches that I had kind of written off. So much hype around them. People are like, the Publix pub sub is so good. They were right. And I'm thankful they were. All right. Thank you for listening. Oh, let's see if there was any comments. I forgot to look if there was comments. Sorry. Let's go to Spotify and YouTube. All right. Let's start on YouTube. Do we get anything on you? Is there anything here on YouTube I need to read? I am struggling to find my buttons. Roberta says this. Good morning. Animosity and anger in the morning is quite the radio name. Hopefully the day is much better for you. Thank you, Roberta. I was just fired up about some things on Monday. Fired up. Needed to get some stuff off my chest. Fired up. And yeah, days are going great. They're not. You know what? They're actually not because my freaking Nalgene is busted. So they freaking suck. Let's see what happened over on Spotify. We've got some comments over there, I do believe. You can count on Spokane Ian. Come in. Okay, this is talking about the golf thing. I've had extensive conversations with people about this. The majority saying I need to do it. But Spokane Ian says, don't do it, Sean. This is going to be your 30-minute ceiling fan again. I do fear that is probably what's going to happen. He goes on to say, microwaves have been doing that, and my MIL is prime example of why those beeps exist. Lastly, you're watching the shorts, not the full Bluey episodes. They are 15 to 20 minutes. I don't think so, dude. I think we're watching like season 2 of Blippi. I think they're 7 to 10 minutes. Maybe I'm way wrong on that. I know the shorts you're talking about. Every now and then we dive into those. I don't like them. They're way too quick. The commercials or the credits are way too long. I need my kids to be in front of the TV for 3 hours a day. So, no, we're on season 2. We're watching season 2. Let me see something here. I'm trying to figure out what MIL is. MIL. I don't know what it is. And I don't think I can waste too much more time just looking it up. So sorry. Sorry, Ian. Thank you, Spokane Ian, for the comment. Yvonne says this. My microwave does the same thing. Microwave popcorn is not my thing. Makes me nauseous. Has since my first pregnancy. I have a stir crazy popcorn popper. Love it. Look, I'm not going to argue that, Yvonne. Why microwaves, man? Chill out. Chill out, microwaves. We know. We set the timer. It's on us if we forgot. It's on us. All right, nothing on Sean'sLife.com. If you want to comment on today's podcast, if you want to, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify video and you see my Nalgene and you have an idea for a fix, let me know. Mainly, I can glue a lot of it. Like if it's like this, the top's on, I got a hole right there though. I got a hole in my Nalgene, dear Liza. That's what I would need. That's what I would need to plug. That's what I need to plug. The rest, I think, could be super glued. What do I do, smart people? Thank you for listening today. Love you. Mean it.